Hi there. In this video, we're covering problem 2.3.7 from the Essentials of Statistics text, 6th edition by Mario Triola. We're asked to construct a stem and leaf plot for these test scores. And then we're asked, how does the stem and leaf plot show the distribution of these data? Notice that the stem is using the tens place of each of these test scores, and the leaves are just using that last digit. So I'm going to do this with you on a piece of paper, and then we'll come back here and choose the correct answer. Okay. So first I look for all of my stems. So I'm using the tens place. Notice that these have, well, they almost all have been sorted, but I'm looking at the tens place. I've got 6 here, then I have a 7, then I have an 8, then I have a 7, I already had a 7. Oops, I like it like that. And then an 89 and an 89, so there's an 8, an 8, and 8. That's a 9. It's a 9, 8, okay, 9. And then we'll use a 10 there. Okay. So with the stem and leaf plot, you write down all of these stems, and then the leaves are the digits after that. So the first score is a 68. So we'll have this over here, and then we'll put an 8 on this side. And then for 73, we'll have a 7 and then a 3. And then for, we also have another one with a 7, so we've got a 7 and a 5. 75 is the score. So let's see, we took care of this one, and this one. And now I want to look at all of those in the 80s. I've got an 85, an 89, an 89, and an 88. So we'll do the 5 first, 85, and then 88. And then we have 2 89s. And then we have a 90, so that's 90. And then a 98, so that's a 98. And then 100, so a 10, and then followed by a 0. So that is our stem and leaf plot. Let me share my screen with you again. Oops. I want to look at the homework problem. There we go. So I am looking for this one that I have on my piece of paper. Now they don't put the bar there, but that's okay. I'm looking for 68, 735, 85899, 908, and 100. So this one's close, but it has 85996, so that's not it. I'm looking for 85899. I think it might be this one. We have 68, 735, 85899, 908, and 100. Now, typically the leaves are written in ascending order. So you want your smallest leaf first, and then all of those are going to increase as you go farther to the right. So this is the one. Check answer. Yep, MyLab Statistics likes that. And we'll continue. And the question says, how does the stem and leaf plot show the distribution of the data? When I look at this, or if I look at this on the screen, it's sort of like a histogram, except you have to turn your head sideways and kind of squint, because these numbers are playing the same roles that those bars in the histogram were playing. So I see that in the class that's in the 80s, basically, I'm looking at test scores in the 80s. Test scores in the 80s were the most frequent. I had 4 test scores in the 80s. And it's obvious that you have the most test scores in the 80s because that one is the longest. So it's kind of like a histogram on its side. Let's look at all the possible answers. It says the lengths of the rows are similar to the widths of the bars in a histogram. No, that's not it, because the widths of the bars in a histogram really don't tell us anything. So we're not going to worry about that. It's not A. Then in B, it says the lengths of the rows are similar to the heights of the bars in the histogram. Longer rows of data correspond to smaller frequencies. That's not true. The beginning was right, but it's actually longer rows of data correspond to higher frequencies. Okay, so I'm looking for lengths of rows are similar to heights in a histogram, that's in D, and longer rows of data correspond to higher frequencies. So that's our answer. And we're good to go. So that's how you construct a stem and leaf plot and answer that homework question.